Crowds had gathered around the princess's carriage as she headed back to the palace. Everyone knows which one was her carriage, as it was guarded by the highest-ranking battlers Kingdom Tongu had. She was the one chosen to save the kingdoms from their plight. Therefore, natives from all over the kingdoms had gathered in Tongu to witness this joyous occasion. As her carriage neared the palace, people gathered around it, dancing and singing, all ecstatic that their long ordeal would soon be over. They also came bearing many gifts for the princess in form of food, expensive clothes, beads, and jewelries to celebrate her. When she reached the palace, the king proudly announced that Prince Alan had given his word to marry the princess on his return from encampment. This announcement was met with loud cheers as the future queen entered her quarters to retire for the night. The merriment was to continue till dawn. Later that night, the princess woke up from her sleep with a heavy heart. She felt uneasy about the sad dream she had just had and thought it best to discuss it with Lalia, as it involved her too. She could barely recall the details of the dream, but that didn't matter, as she was determined to see Lalia that night. Unfortunately, her plans were aborted by a late-night visitor who had snuck into her hut without her knowledge. "Going somewhere, princess?" Hearing this, the princess froze. Her heart almost stopped from her surprise. "Your Majesty," she bowed before the queen, wondering why she was gracing her with her presence this late in the night. "You will do well to spare me this reverence. If you had any respect for me, you will not be going out this late to meet that disgusting, ugly dirt behind my back," Queen Tati snarled. "I tried telling you countless times that she is kind to me and that she had saved my life, but you paid no heed to me, Your Majesty," Princess Halima explained. She could care less about the queen's anger over her relationship with Lalia. Rather, she was relieved that she didn't have to hide it anymore. "I could not understand why you wanted me to stay enemies with her," Princess said in her defense. "She is but dirt picked up from the street and made into a ward. She is out of your league and social class. Social etiquette frowns upon such friendships. It cannot be," Queen Tati explained. But seeing that Princess Halima did not even seem interested in what she was saying, and that her words were hardly having the effect she intended, she decided to change her approach. "Enough of me trying to reason with you. It is pointless after all. I forbade you too. That should have been reason enough for you to stay well away from that wretched girl. But you dare to defy me, even before you become queen? I am fearful to think of what you would do when indeed you are queen. But I should suspect worse." Queen Tati angrily walked towards Princess Halima, who was now getting increasingly uncomfortable with her presence. She could not wait for her to leave already, so she would be on her way to Lalia. She got so close to Halima that she could feel her breath on her skin. She started playing with her beads on her hair in an almost sinister way, whilst whispering to her, seething, "I command you to end your friendship with that filth. Stop having your clandestine meetings with her. It is pathetic, and I will find out. I am sorry to have to defy you, Your Majesty, but I cannot. Ask me anything else besides that, and I will gladly do your bidding. But this I cannot obey. Lalia has become very dear to me and one of my most trusted allies in this kingdom. After all she has been to me, I will not betray her like that for anyone." Princess Halima defiantly pleaded with the queen. This infuriated Queen Tati immensely. "Anyone? Am I just anyone, princess? How dare you? How dare you disobey my command, and that too in my very presence?" She burst out into a rage like one the princess had never seen before. She frantically paced around the hut, trying her best to get her emotions under control. "I am the queen of this kingdom, and I shall not be disobeyed. You are going to stop being in the company of that wretched filth at once, or else." Princess Halima could see now that the queen was in no mood to negotiate, and she knew that at that point everything she had to say, whether in agreement or dissent to the queen's request, would only aggravate her further. So she decided to stay silent and let her continue her ranting and raving. "Don't take my being too lenient with you as a sign of weakness, because it is not. I may have given my word to have you marry my son, to which he has conveniently consented, but all of that can easily be reversed. I can change everything and have him revoke his consent in a blink of an eye." This angered the princess, who was now glaring at her challengingly. There were better matches for my son, from more noble families who could have been befitting queens for the kingdom. But instead I chose you and your family, even though your father was a cripple and your family poor. I still decided to choose you. Don't make me regret my decision, Queen Tati taunted her. This made the princess extremely angry, and she also decided to take an equally painful jab at her. Correct me if I'm wrong. Did you not choose me because of the pact you made with my mother? Princess Halima mockingly asked. Her mother had obviously told her about their pact. That wretched priestess could not keep her filthy mouth shut, she thought. Princess Halima, she screamed. You will do well to know your place and not talk back to me with such disdain. She angrily walked towards the door to leave. Just before she reached the door of the hut, she caught a glimpse of Lalia, worriedly bowing her head to her.